where did this idea of sitting in a coffee shop with a laptop, managing a team 3 time zones away, where did that actually come from? It didn't just appear.
It's a great question
Mm.
because now in 2026, it's everywhere. You can find digital nomads in Tulsa, in Lisbon, Cape Town,
Yeah.
but it had to start somewhere.
There had to be a patient zero.
Exactly. A patient zero for this whole lifestyle.
And according to the research we've got in front of us today, this is the January 2026 newsletter from LivingBorderlessly. All roads lead back to one place.
And it's not where you'd think?
No, not a shiny metropolis like Singapore, not a beach town like Bali. It is a jungle mountain city in northern Thailand. We are talking, of course, about Chiang Mai.
The OG.
Yeah.
The original digital nomad paradise. It's funny, even with all the new hubs popping up, people still talk about it with this certain reverence.
The original. And today, that's what we're doing. A deep dive into this update to figure out if the legend still holds up. Because honestly, the numbers in here are kind of mind-blowing.
I mean, the headline number is pretty shocking.
We're talking about a feasibility study on living a dream life for under $800 a month. And I have to be skeptical about that because $800 doesn't get you much these days.
It sounds impossible in today's economy, I agree, but the data tells a very specific story.
So that is our mission. We're going to unpack this update to answer 3 big questions. First, is that $800 lifestyle for real? Or are you, eating instant noodles in a closet?
Right, quality of life versus just surviving.
Second, we have to talk bureaucracy because there's a new visa that apparently changes the entire game. And third, is it really this perfect year-round paradise, or is there a catch that people don't like to talk about?
There's always a catch.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating about Chiang Mai is that it isn't just a travel spot. It's a case study in how a city adapted to a new economy before anyone else even knew what that was.
Okay, let's unpack that. Set the scene for us. Because when I hear Jungle City, I'm picturing, heavy humidity, monkeys, maybe spotty Wi-Fi.
Sure. And, well, you're not totally wrong about the setting. It's northern Thailand, surrounded by mountains. The city itself has over 300 Buddhist temples. It's ancient.
Wow.
But the key is the layout. You have 2 distinct worlds. There's the old city, a perfect square with a moat filled with those ancient temples. And then just a mile away, you have Nimmenhamen Road.
Or just Nimmen.
Just Nimmen. And Nimmen is basically a square mile of hyper-modernity just dropped into the jungle. In the early 2010s, this became ground zero for a very specific reason.
Which was?
Fiber optics. While the islands in the south were struggling with spotty 3G where you couldn't even load an email,
Right.
Chiang Mai had enterprise-grade fiber running into, like, $3 a night hostels.
So it wasn't just the vibe. It was a pure technical advantage.
100%. It was this competitive infrastructure battle between the big Kai telecom companies, AIS and True. They wired Chiang Mai like it was Seoul.
And that's what allowed for the co-working spaces.
That technical backbone is what let places like Punspace and All Chiang Mai emerge. And we should pause on Punspace because the newsletter calls it a cultural landmark.
I saw that name. It sounds like a sci-fi colony.
In a way, it kind of was. These weren't just cafes where you felt guilty for taking up a table. These are legendary institutions. The source calls them the gold standard.
What did they do differently?
They perfected the model before WeWork was even a thing. We're talking silent rooms, ergonomic chairs, Skype booths. It legitimized the entire lifestyle. It told the world, we are not just backpackers checking email, we're building businesses.
That's a huge distinction. It professionalized the whole image.
Exactly. And that infrastructure creates a safety net. Your biggest fear as a freelancer is a bad connection on a client call. Chiang Mai solved that a decade ago. It's why even now, the source notes it was named the best city in Asia for 2025.
Even with all the new competition, Vietnam, Colombia, all these places coming for the crown.
Even with all of that, it hasn't lost its edge because that foundation, the mix of ancient culture and fiber optic speed, is just so strong.
Okay, so the internet works. That's a big one. But let's get to the part that I think everyone listening is waiting for. The money.
The $600 to $800 a month figure.
Yeah, that Living Borderlessly report claims you can live there for $600 to $800, and I have to play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
I'm looking at my own grocery bill right now, and I'm just skeptical. $600 a month in 2026. That doesn't even get you a parking spot in most Western cities. Are we talking about surviving or actually living?
That is the crucial question, and the data is pretty clear. This is about quality of life, not just scraping by. The report breaks down accommodation from $300 to $600 a month.
Okay, but what does $300 get you? A hammock, A tiny room with a window facing a brick wall?
No, and that's the shocker. We're talking about modern condos from their condo boom.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at a 35, maybe 40 square meter studio, usually fully furnished.
Furnished.
Yeah, bed, sofa, TV, fridge, everything. And often with a swimming pool and a gym in the building.
For $300 or $400.
Often less if you sign a 6-month contract. The source says this is about 65% cheaper than comparable Western cities. There's just an oversupply of these condos, which keeps the price way down.
That is staggering.
It is. In London or New York, your rent is your biggest stress. It's half your income. In Chiang Mai, for the price of a few nights in a hotel back home, you have your base for a whole month.
Okay, and then you add the food. The newsletter says $2 to $4 a meal. But again, is that, gas station sandwiches?
Not even close. We're talking about khao soi.
Oh, the curry noodles. I love those.
It's a culinary masterpiece, right? Coconut curry broth, egg noodles, pickled greens. A bowl of that at a local spot is about 60 to 80 baht.
Which is what, like $2?
Roughly $2.
Oh.
And it's incredible.
See, that's just unfair. I bought a coffee this morning that cost me $6. Just the coffee. Thai massages for $6 an hour.
Right. Here, a massage is a luxury. You do it on your birthday. At $6 an hour, it becomes part of your weekly routine. It's maintenance. You finish work, you go get a massage, you grab dinner. You've spent $10 total.
So if you add it all up, rent at $400, food at maybe $300 if you're eating out constantly, a few massages, you really are hitting that $800 mark.
And you feel like you're living significantly above your means. That's the psychological hook.
Right.
You feel wealthy on a modest income. But there is a caveat.
Ah, okay. Lay it on us.
That budget assumes you embrace the local economy. If you start demanding imported wine, cheese, Western steakhouses every night, that budget will double or triple.
Got it. So stick to the pad thai, skip the French Cabernet.
Basically.
But money isn't everything. You can be rich and lonely. And that's, I think, the biggest fear for people going borderless, the isolation.
It's a huge fear.
Yeah.
And it's the #1 killer of this lifestyle.
So how does Chiang Mai do on that front? Because the source mentions a number, 10,000.
Yeah, a community of over 10,000 digital nomads. For a city its size, that is a massive number. It's the size of a small American town.
But who are these people? Is it just a bunch of 22-year-old Instagrammers?
That used to be the stereotype. But the data in the newsletter shows it's really matured. You have software engineers from Fortune 500 companies, crypto traders, novelists, SEO experts.
So it's not just backpackers anymore.
Far from it. And think what that means. It's the network effect. If you go to some new up-and-coming hub, you might be one of 50 remote workers. You're the outlier. In Chiang Mai, you are the norm.
You walk into a cafe and everyone else is also building an app or writing copy.
Exactly. It's an instant professional network. You're not alone in the jungle. You're surrounded by like-minded people. The density of the community just speeds everything up.
And it seems like there's plenty to do. The newsletter talks about the adventure aspect.
Oh, yeah. The work-life balance is built in. It highlights weekend trips to Pei.
Ah, Pei. I've heard about the road to Pei.
The 762 curves. It's a rite of passage to ride a scooter up there. Pei is a little bohemian town in the hills with hot springs and canyons. It's where the nomads go to decompress.
And I was glad to see the note on ethical tourism, specifically visiting elephant sanctuaries ethically.
That's a really important shift. A decade ago, animal tourism was different. Now, the community really pushes for sanctuaries where you observe, not ride. It reflects the values of the people living there now.
Speaking of culture, we have to talk about the temples. 300 of them.
It's hard to walk a block without seeing a gold stupa. It constantly reminds you that you're not just in a workspace, you are in a living, breathing, ancient capital.
That actually brings us to a little trivia break that was in the newsletter. Yeah, because everyone has seen that photo, right? The night sky just filled with thousands of these floating lanterns. It looks like something out of a Disney movie.
It's iconic.
But the report says people often book trips for the wrong month because they mix up the festivals. So here's the question. Which Chiang Mai festival hosts that spectacular event where thousands of paper lanterns are released into the sky? Is it A, song scenario, didn't it?
Oh, it was the biggest barrier. The old way was the 60-day tourist visa. You'd pay $40, stay for 2 months, and then you had to leave.
The famous visa run.
A minivan ride from hell. You'd pack up, wake up at 4 a.m., ride a bus to the Laos border, cross over, turn around, and come back for another scamp. You could never really settle.
But the January 2026 update highlights a game changer. The DTV.
The Destination Thailand Visa.
This is
This is huge. We should probably get a little technical here because this is what changed everything.
Let's do it. What are the requirements? Because these gold visas usually require you to buy a condo or invest $1 million.
And that's the beauty of it. The DTV is designed for a middle-class remote worker. The main requirement is proof of funds of 500,000 baht,
Which is what? In US dollars?
roughly 15,000 US dollars in a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to prove you work remotely.
Wait, 15,000, that's actually accessible. That's a healthy savings account, not a millionaire's trust fund.
Correct. And the visa itself costs about $300. For that, you get a 5-year multiple entry visa. And each time you enter, you get a stamp for 180 days.
Whoa. 6 months.
6 months. So you go from 2 months of anxiety to half a year of stability.
And can you extend it?
Yes, you can extend that 180 days for another 180 days at a local immigration office without leaving the country. So you effectively get a full year.
That completely changes the psychology of it. You're not a tourist anymore. You're basically a resident.
Exactly. You can sign a yearly lease on that condo.
Yeah.
You can buy a motorbike instead of renting. You can actually put down roots. It's the Thai government finally courting this demographic.
Okay, so we have perfect infrastructure, an unbelievable price point, a built-in community, and now visa stability. It sounds too good.
There's always a but.
There's always a but. And we promised an honest deep dive. The source calls it the burning season debate.
We have to talk about it. For some people, it is the deal breaker.
What is it exactly? It sounds ominous. Burning season.
It's a major environmental issue. Every year, between February and April, farmers in the region burn their fields to prepare for the next crop.
Okay.
And when you combine that with forest fires and the fact that Chiang Mai is in a valley, the smoke just sits there. It gets trapped.
So we're not just talking about a little haze in the air.
No, we are talking about air quality levels that can be hazardous. The newsletter cites PM 2.5 levels, the really dangerous microparticles, hitting 300 or 400.
And for context, what's considered unhealthy?
Anything over 50. It is literally topped the list for the worst air quality in the world multiple times during March.
Wow. That puts a serious damper on the paradise vibe. That's don't go outside weather.
It does. And the source raises the debate. Is Chiang Mai a year-round paradise? And the answer is complicated. If you have any respiratory issues or you just value your lungs, the answer is no. You cannot be there in March.
So what do people do? Do they just suffer through it?
Some do, with heavy-duty air purifiers. But the veteran move, as the newsletter points out, is the smoky season migration. Most nomads just leave.
Where do they go?
They head south to the islands, where the ocean breeze keeps the air clear, or they go home to visit family. They treat Chiang Mai as a 9-month home.
So it requires planning? You can't just blindly show up in March expecting mountain views and get a wall of gray smoke?
Exactly. It forces you to actually be nomadic. But, and this is key, even with that bad air, the value for the other 9 months is so high that people keep coming back.
That's a really important reality check. So let's zoom out. We've walked through the numbers, the visa, the lifestyle, and the big environmental catch. If we summarize the mission here.
The mission was to see if the legend holds up. And I think it does. You have a city offering this incredible quality of life for under $800 a month.
With internet that rivals Silicon Valley.
A deep culture. Now, a visa that lets you legally stay for half a year at a time. It's the combination of the old world, the temples, the food, and the new economy.
The crypto, the remote work.
It's a very rare alchemy. Most places have one or the other. Chiang Mai has both.
And it seems like it's holding on to the crown. Best city in Asia for 2025. It hasn't been dethroned.
Not yet. But that success brings its own challenges.
And that leads me to the final thought I want to leave with you today. We've seen this happen before. A place gets discovered, it gets popular, and then it changes.
Gentrification is a global story.
Exactly. So here's the question. With this new DTV visa opening the floodgates, making it easier than ever to move there, and the cost of living so low, what happens next?
Does the jungle charm survive the influx?
Right. Is Chiang Mai destined to become just another expensive tech hub? At what point does the original paradise become a victim of its own success?
It's the paradox of popularity. The more people who know about the secret, the less of a secret it becomes.
Something to think about as you look at your rent check this month. If you want to dive deeper into all the details, especially the visa specs, check the show notes for the link to the Living Borderlessly newsletter.
Definitely worth a read.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.
Stay curious.